Welcome to Slasher Sunday. So I'm really fucking annoyed right now because this movie has made my head hurt with questions. So I want to say up front that if you've come to this review, because there's like no reviews for this movie on YouTube. I looked after to see if people were just as confused as I was, and there was like two of them. And both the guys really didn't speak about the movie in spoiler discussion almost at all. So I watched a little bit of both, just trying to get a feel of how people were feeling. And I'm just like, this. Oh my god! I finished this movie, and this was recommended to me by Diogo. Diogo. I know how to say his name now. Diogo. I've said it a million times on the damn channel. I always said one day I'd figure out how to say his damn name. Diogo. Diogo. God damn it. No, I can't. Diogo. There it is. D-O-Go. All right, let's go with this review. So he recommended this to me, and I was like, is it Monster Monday? Is it a Slasher Sunday? And he's like, yeah, it could kind of be both, I guess. It's kind of like a slasher movie, and it's kind of like a monster movie. So I needed a slasher movie, and I was like, all right, let's do this thing. And so I threw it on, and I'm like, this is a really odd movie. Just very off kilter. The performance from the lead guy here is fucking bizarre. So so I was watching, I was like, I'm into this though. It's cool. It's got a couple great kills. Um, and it's got a lot of nudity, and it's got a very uneven tone to it, so it feels very odd, and it leaves you kind of unsettled throughout. The score is eccentric, and as I said, the performances, especially by the lead here, is almost unnerving because of how odd of a character he is throughout. I really didn't know what to make of this guy throughout the movie. Like, I thought he maybe had a thing for his daughter at one point, and maybe was fucking her or wanting to, and I genuinely couldn't get a read on that throughout the movie. I mean, he sees her get out of the shower naked, and he's just stares at her for a little, like for a second, then he just kind of goes back to his thing, and then it goes back to his day, and then she comes in his room, and he's very handsy in this movie with every woman. And what he says to every chick, he's like, oh, hey, beautiful, hey, gorgeous, and he's putting his hands all over the nurses and all over the rape victims and all over his daughter, and the like kind of romance that he has with the other chick in this movie was really weird. Laura, right? I think is her name. I just he was such a weird character. So he himself was making the film very odd, but the story was also very odd. And so I have a bunch of stuff written down here. In the opening, we kind of get this couple, and guy comes up and he tries to get some love from his girl, and he's like, "You bitch!" And then he like jumps off a cliff, yelling, "You bitch!" It's pretty funny. It was the funniest way to start. And then you get a couple generic kills. Well, one kill and one survival, because she's the only one that survives throughout. And then Tim's house in this movie is amazing. I love that old style house, or the old Victorian style houses. I just love them. Laura in this movie, the actress who plays her, is just gorgeous, and little Jenny, his daughter, is very, very cute. She's got a very unique looking face, which I'm a big fan of unique looks. The only thing that she would really need to do that would help her a lot is she needs to maintenance her eyebrows. Her eyebrows are just fucking wacky, man. And so the first girl is raped so bad she has to have her uterus removed. So damn, man, this Incubus must be packing some serious heat with how much he can assault these women. And then the librarian is assaulted, and there's some slow motion stuff. And I actually thought that this was pretty well done. It's effective, and it where the slasher elements kind of come in place is with the death of the men. Like the men are killed and the women are raped, and there's a great death in here. This guy, it's a really sad death because this guy comes in and he sees his dog has been raked through the throat. So any animal lovers are not going to like that scene at all. I want to say it's like a German Shepherd. But anyway, so he sees it and he's like, what the hell? And he has a shotgun in his hand and he gets a shovel through the neck and it sticks him up on the wall and his neck is like half cut off. And the force of it and just the shock of it makes him pull the trigger on his shotgun and he blows the whole front of his foot off. And it's a pretty gnarly shot too, because then you get a close-up of the foot. You can see like all of the meat inside of what's left from the wound. It's gnarly, man. So that's by far the best kill in the film. So that was the most slasheriest moment of them all. And then, okay, so, I mean, for the most part, I have other little things here, like, why didn't the daughter hear the gun when the dad shot it off, and stuff like that, but I don't really care about that. I just need to start talking about this movie, and I need to start talking about the ending, because I am so fucking confused. I wrote up Diogo right after this, and was like, what the fuck? Okay, what happened with this, and his answers were pretty short, and then I asked him maybe 50 more, and I'm like, because this is something he's seen a bunch, and I would expect him to kind of be an expert. He's like, oh, that's the great thing about this, you can just think about it, and this and that. Fuck, man. You know how I am. If you watch my channel enough, I way overthink the most trivial of things, the smallest, stupidest of things. Something like this, my brain is on overdrive right now. I'm just sitting here like, what the fuck did I just watch? I have so many questions. I want to sit down with the writer, the director of this movie. I should have known. I should have fucking known. This is the guy who made the horrendous Howling 4, one of the worst movies of all time. Now, I'm not saying this is a bad movie. I actually quite enjoyed The Incubus. So I don't want it to seem like that. But I should have just known something was up. He's done a bunch of other things. He did American Gothic, which was really cool. He did the Witch Mountain movies and stuff like that. So, and other stuff as well, like Legend of Hell House, I think. And he had a pretty cool filmography when I was scanning through his stuff. But holy shit. Okay, so Tim is having these nightmares. And in these nightmares, he's bringing the Incubus, which is like this rape monster, to life. And as he dreams, this thing rapes. And so, of course, first thought is it's got to be him. It can't be a monster. That's too outlandish. And the chief will not even tag along for any of this. He hears it and he's just like, nope. Which is good because, in a lot of movies, they can sell people a little too easily. In this one, they never sell the chief ever. Which, of course, then begs the question, like, how is this all going to wrap up after the credits, when the chief shows up and finds Jenny dead and raped, and they find Tim stabbed to death, and the only two people that are there are Laura and the doctor here. And so Laura doesn't have a penis. So what's going on? So what is the Incubus trying to do? And so he's raping these women, but one is raped so bad that she has to have her uterus removed. So there's no baby got to be having there. So she's not pregnant. She can't be pregnant. And then all the other women are raped to death. They're just bleeding profusely. They're hemorrhaging so badly. And I think, if I heard him correctly, essentially the semen, there was so much of it that it was actually like preventing her from bleeding to death. Like it was actually holding the hemorrhaging in place. If maybe I heard that correctly, he said something about like how she was bleeding so badly, but the semen was in there. It was so much of it. I want to say it was like the semen that like was like almost like a glue, a band-aid that was holding their blood in. I could be wrong on that, but that's what I was hearing. I was like, wow, Jesus, this thing shoots a whole lot. But she seems, I think, to be the only one that has its semen inside of her. So I don't know. So we find out. Okay, so Tim's mom was raped when he dreams about it, but his mom's dead because he lives with his grandmother. Then at the end of the movie, Tim calls Laura his sister because Laura ends up actually being the incubus, and she takes on the form of the incubus during his nightmares. And so she raped Jenny to death when he came up and accidentally, he didn't even really stab him, he kind of pushed him over, and Tim fell onto his own knife. But so did the incubus rape Tim's mom, and did it only come into fruition because Tim dreamt it? Was Tim alive and dreaming of this to bring it to be? Did I miss something there? But so the incubus came alive, raped his mom, which then created another incubus. So the mom survived it and actually had offspring that became an incubus, that became the incubus that was now his sister that he's calling Laura. And Laura looks just like the girl who died, who the doctor was dating before, this 18-year-old girl, which Laura don't look no 18. She looks like she's in her fucking 30s. She's a beautiful woman, and not like women are not beautiful in their 30s. Of course they are. But she ain't 18. I'll tell you that shit. But did the incubus take on that persona? Like, did it for some reason take on that one, and coincidentally enough it just so happened to be, because I thought it was going in the route of something like Vertigo for a little bit. I was like, oh, so this is actually the girl, but he calls her sister, and the mom died, but did she not die during the rape? And if so, then how is that a sister? Did he mean that in like, he calls her the sister. So that's where I'm confused with this whole thing. Like, if it was just the incubus that raped his mom, then that would make a little more sense. Like, he brought it to life. Maybe when he was a kid, he brought it to life. But his mom is excited about getting her. He says she's smiling, and she is. And she's like, come and get me. So she wants it. And she's like tied up, and there's some kind of, ritual going on there. And they have her tied up, and when it comes through the door, they're like, oh my God, what the hell? And he kills all the guys there. So were they not expecting that thing? And if so, like, what were they even performing? And that's what I said. Like, if people came here for a fucking explanation, I don't have one at all. I would love one, because I'm so goddamn lost. I am so goddamn lost. I feel like I need to watch this thing again and to just really focus on every single stupid little thing everybody says. And I don't think I'm ever going to get the answer. Like, I was paying pretty good attention. Like, I put my phone away, and I was just like, because things were getting weird, and I was like, all right, I'm not going to touch my phone this whole fucking movie. Forget it. I'm looking at this movie. And I have no doubt I missed some things. It just happens. But, so, yeah, this... Oh, by the way, there's a freaking Bruce Dickinson, Iron Maiden cameo in here back when he was in his band before Iron Maiden. It was an interesting part of the movie where these kids are at like some live rock show theater thing, and Bruce Dickinson was the singer of the band, and it was. I was sitting there, I was like, I know that face. Isn't that the Iron Maiden face? Like, isn't that the guy from Iron Maiden? And then Oh man, did that bring me back? Holy shit. Any skateboarders out there, anybody who was a skater in the 90s, I think you already know what I'm going to get at, but if for some reason there are any skaters of the 90s here, holy shit, I can't even express in words how big of a deal freaking Toy Machine's Welcome to Hell was. That was just like the biggest deal. And the very last segment of it was Jamie Thomas skating to Hallowed Be Thy Name by Iron Maiden. And I'm going to tell you guys, like, that was a pivotal moment in my life. That was actually that was what got me interested in getting tattoos on my arms. Like, I saw that and I was just like, oh man, I want to be like that guy. And I shaved my head because he shaves his head. And I was so influenced by that video. He was such a big skater in the 90s. And I just grew up watching that shit. And man, that was such a big deal to me. It really helped me through a dark period of my life. So seeing anything Iron Maiden related immediately brings me back to that Toy Machine video. Anyway, but this Incubus thing at the end, like, why does it look like the chick he used to fuck? Why is he so weird with everyone? Like with his daughter, even when the chick comes over to his house where he kisses her, and then he kisses her later in front of everyone else, and she kind of gives him a weird look, and everyone kind of gives him a weird look. It's like, we're not a thing. And then when she asks for a drink, he's like, no, you can't have one, and then he just leaves. And then when she's like, who's this in the picture? And he's like, it's the woman I live with. And it's like, it's a weird fucking thing to say. Like, just say it's your daughter. Like, what are you talking about? Like, are you trying to make it, is it a joke? Like, are you trying to get her jealous? Are you like, what is this character? He is so freaking bizarre to me. But yeah, so the grandmother is like a witch or knows something about the occult and has a book and all this stuff on it. She has like an incubus killer dagger, and if Laura really is the incubus, he's still holding the dagger in that moment. And when he sees his daughter dead, does he then stab her? Like, what the fuck, you killed my daughter? He sees that she's like the incubus there at the end. It like flashes in his head. So does he stab her? And if he does, he'd probably go to jail, because how the hell are you going to explain that? But if he stabbed her, would it then become, its natural state? Would it look like an incubus, or would it still continue to look like Laura? If Laura isn't a real person, then what record would she have of actually existing? And did Tim actually know his sister, because he seemed very sure of it? You're my sister. Oh my god, I don't know. I don't get it. Like, is anybody supposed to get this? I think it's just supposed to be that twist ending, like, oh, Laura was the incubus the whole time, and he killed her, he killed the daughter, he brought her into his house, and he got his daughter killed, dun dun dun, moment at credits, and everyone's like, holy shit, that's crazy, okay. But like, when you really start to think about it, and you really start thinking about all the scenes that took place, I am so confused. Like, why is this thing raping everyone? It just rapes people to death? That's its purpose? Is to just fuck women to death? Like, it gives a shovel to another guy's throat and throws him through the barn, and all these guys get these deaths. Did he rape the little girl in the wheelchair? Do we know about her death? Like, he's not trying to impregnate anybody, but then he impregnated the mom, or did he not? How did the mom die? Like, fuck! I don't know. I don't know anything. I know I liked the movie. I know it's on Amazon Prime. Check it out. Let me know. It's definitely not one I've ever seen talked about. And with his little reviews online, I'm assuming this is a pretty rare feature here. So, thank you. Diogo, you fucking piece of shit. Just kidding. No, I appreciate it. This is a patron request. He's a patron of mine. He threw it at me. I'm happy to have watched it. It's a 80s gem. It came out in 1982. The best year ever, because that was the year that not only John Carpenter's The Thing came out, but I came out. Okay, me, myself. I came out on my mom. Yes. So, great year. Um, what a bizarre ass movie. Someone make me look dumb. That's not going to be hard. But someone make me look dumb. Write down in the below if you've seen this movie or if you watch this movie and you're like, Jason, it's easy. They said this, this, and this. You just missed it, you fucking moron. That's fine. Cool. Put my brain to rest. Speaking of getting my brain to rest, I need to go to sleep. But man, I was just texting him like 50 questions. I don't even think I got them all because I was just sitting there and I was like, but wait, what about the grandma? Did she know that the mom had a kid? Did she know about Laura? Was she in on this? Did she know that was there, when they were hanging out? Did she what was her involvement in all of it? How complicit was she in it? She seemed to care about the kid, but then he almost kidnaps that kid when he drives away. The doctor, he gets in the car and he's like, Tim is more, still important to us, so we're just gonna go. And she's just like, oh, okay. And then she just goes down and looks up stuff in the basement. And yeah, this one's a mind fuck. I legit don't know. So, anyways, I gotta go to bed, guys. This is gonna this is not the movie to go to bed on. I'm gonna be sitting in my bed all night tonight, like, so the Incubus was his sister? Was it a twin? Was he born by that? Was his dreams what killed his mom? Or was it kind of like in the future where he's dreaming back to what happened to his mom before he was even born, and what came out was him and an incubus? Or would he have been alive at that time? Did I miss that line where he said he was alive? This is the kind of shit, man. I feel like I'm fucking smoking dope or something and sitting there and just looking at the stars and questioning, my existence and whatnot. That's how I'm gonna be tonight in bed. So thanks. All right. Good night for you, not for me.